You're very welcome to That's the Spirit, where I shall share the stories behind some of Ireland's most remarkable distilleries. The people, the places, and the spirit that makes them what they are. Irish whiskey is full of incredible stories. Stories of old traditions being brought back to life. Stories of people leaving home and returning years later with a dream. Stories of landscapes, families, and communities, all captured in a bottle. And today's episode is about one of those places. A place where the whiskey is important, but where the story behind it matters just as much. Today, we're heading to Donegal. If you've never been there, picture this: the Atlantic crashing against the cliffs, the smell of the sea in the air, roads that wind through mountains, little villages, and some of the most breathtaking scenery you'll find anywhere in Ireland. It's one of those places that makes you slow down, take a breath, and simply look around. And it's here in the town of Ardara that you'll find Slieve League Distillers. The first time I properly came across Slieve League was at Whisky Live Paris last year, when I was working with Dingle. And that's where I met James and Moira Doherty. Straight away, they were two of those people that made you feel welcome. No ego, no distance, just genuinely kind, passionate people who were happy to share their story. And that's something I've noticed again and again in Irish whiskey. The people behind the bottle often tell you as much about the spirit as the liquid itself. Slieve League Distillers was founded by James and Moira, who returned to Donegal with the ambition of reconnecting with the region's distilling heritage. Based in Ardara, the distillery is inspired by the landscape, traditions and history of Donegal, bringing back a style of whiskey making connected to the area's past while creating something new for the future. But for me, what stood out wasn't just a whiskey, it was a sense of place. And standing in Paris at Whisky Live, James showed me something that I'll never forget. He had a headset that allowed you to see the location of the distillery, the landscape around it, and the incredible place where the whiskey is being made. And standing there in Paris, thousands of kilometres away from Donegal, I felt like I was at home. At that point, I hadn't been back home in a while. And something as simple as seeing the landscape, hearing the story, and imagining that rugged coastline gave me a feeling that I hadn't expected. A little taste of home. And that's something whiskey does better than almost anything else. It connects you to a place, a memory, a feeling, and when you taste Slieve League, that sense of place comes true in the whiskey itself. Donegal has always been a landscape of rugged coastlines, Atlantic weather, and old traditions. And that's reflected in what they're creating. Their core range is the Silkie Collection, named after the old Donegal legend of the Silkies, mythical creatures said to live as seals before shedding their skins and walking on land. It's another reminder that this isn't just a whiskey from Donegal. It's whiskey rooted in its stories. One of the first expressions many people discovered was the legendary Silkie, a whiskey that tells the story of Donegal through a blend of Irish malt and grain whiskies with a gentle smokiness running through it. For someone discovering Slieve League for the first time, this is probably where I'd start. It's approachable and beautifully balanced with layers of fruit, honey, vanilla, and a gentle smoke running through it. The smoke is there, but it doesn't overpower the whiskey. It adds another layer, a connection to the landscape and the traditions that they're trying to bring back. But smoke is really where they've carved out their identity. They have always been passionate about reviving Donegal's traditions of peated Irish whiskey, something that had almost disappeared for generations. But as you move through the range, that smoky character becomes more pronounced. Expressions like dark and midnight explore that side of Irish whiskey, richer, deeper, and more heavily influenced by smoke and the Atlantic landscape around them. Dark brings more depth and richness, with darker fruit, spice, and a stronger smoky character. And midnight takes that even further, a whiskey for those who enjoy a more intense style, where the influence of peat and smoke really come through. What I find interesting is that the smoke isn't there just to make the whiskey different. It's part of the story they're telling. It's connected to a style of whiskey that once existed in Donegal, and one that James and Moira are helping bring back. And now with Ardara Distillery, they're moving into an even more exciting chapter, creating their own whiskey in Donegal. For years, they've built their reputation through carefully crafted blends. Ardara changes that. Now, for the first time, they'll be able to take that same philosophy, the influence of Donegal, the focus on smoke, and their approach of whisky making, and carry it through every stage of production. Which brings the story full circle. A whisky born from the place, made by the people who call it home. I met James again at Wine Paris, and once again he was exactly the same. Generous with his time, passionate about what they're building, and always happy to share the story. He even sent me the YouTube link, so whenever I was missing home, I could watch it again. And I did. Because sometimes home just isn't a place. Sometimes it's a landscape, a conversation, a smell, a taste. And whiskey has a unique ability to bring those things back. Of course, none of this happens without the people behind the scenes. And one of those people is Siobhan McGuinness, who's the marketing director. I had the pleasure of meeting Siobhan through the whisky world. And she is another example of what makes this industry so special. She's warm, genuine, and always willing to help. She represents the brand brilliantly because she understands that Sliabh League isn't just about selling whiskey. It's about telling the story of Donegal, the people, the landscape, the history, and the future. That's what makes the Ardara Distillery such an interesting project. It's not trying to recreate the past, it's respecting it. The distillery takes inspiration from Donegal's old distilling traditions, including the smoky styles that were almost lost, while using modern techniques to create something that feels completely relevant today. And maybe that's the beauty of Irish whiskey right now. It's not just about looking backwards. It's about taking those stories, those traditions and those places and bringing them forward. For me, Sliabh League will always be connected with that first moment in Paris. A conversation with James, a view of Donegal through a headset, a reminder of home when I needed it. And that's why whiskey matters. Because it's never just what's in the glass. It's about the people who share it, the places that create it, and the memories that come with it. So if you ever find yourself travelling through Donegal, make sure it's on your list. Because behind every bottle of Sliabh League is a story, and it's one worth hearing. If you're enjoying That's the Spirit, make sure to follow, like, and leave a review. And until next time, Sláinte.